Okay, welcome back. This is Listen to Anyone, and we're going to do the hair a different way. Now, the hair we've done previously was perfectly fine, absolutely normal for like stylizing, sculpting, for display purposes, but we want to rig it for later on. So what we're going to do is we're going to press Shift A. We're going to bring in a curve circle, and then we'll press Shift A again, and then bring in a path. Now, we're going to drag these out to the side, and we're going to use this for the hair. So I'm going to rotate the path to 90 degrees, so it's standing up on the z-axis, and then I'm just going to go to the curve properties over here. We'll come back to the shape later on because we will need to change that. We're going to select object, and then with the pipette little tool, just select the circle, and as you can see, that path will take form of the circle. So you can scale it down clicking on the curve, but the best method for this would be to actually scale it down using the circle, the curve circle. This is like your controller as it's taking whatever you do to the circle will change the path. So we want to make a hair strand. Now we're going to go through a couple of hair options in this video. So this is the first option of making straight normal hair. So we're going to turn this into an oval. I was just rotating this just to get the trajectory right. So as you can see, I was scaling it on the top, and you can see it coming on the bottom. So I'm rotating this in object mode so it doesn't change the effect. So now, as you can see, as I'm moving the bottom, now the bottom on our screen, you can now see it moving. So without further ado, I'm just going to now show you, this is how you can manipulate this curve circle, scale it up, and you can change the little handles as well on these when in edit mode. So we're going to subdivide, so that's selecting them all by pressing A and then right click and then subdivide. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to position this in a better position. Oops, I just moved it on the y-axis. I meant to do it on the z-axis, on the z-axis. Okay, just bring that up. And we'll go back into edit mode, put that next to the object so you can see it take transform. So when we select it all, we want to press V and then go to free. What this does, it will make all the handles on these little vertexes free to move. And as you can see, when you move these handles, it changes and deforms the shape on the left there. So that means you can create the hair-like style where it waves in and out, and you can be very creative and do all sorts of designs like this. I've seen a lot of artists and sculptors use this for specific types of hair, so this is a very good idea to do. If you want to make it a different shape or change its sizes, you can always scale the curve, the circle curve that we've just changed, to best match the hair. So once you are finished with the changing the handles and the positioning, I'm just moving these in and out and just experimenting. You can stretch them out along the y-axis, the x-axis, to stretch the hair to make it bigger if you wanted to. So we made that tiny bit smaller. You can stretch it, as you can see, along the y-axis if you need to. So what we'll do is we'll scale this on the z-axis. So we can click on that path and then scale on the z-axis. We're going to bring down the object in object mode, the circle in object mode, and then we're just placing the hair in position. We're going to hide the other pieces of the hair, and now we're going to start snapping the path here in edit mode. We're going to select the top vertex. We're going to make sure our snapping tool is set to face project, and then we're going to grab it by pressing G and holding Control to snap it to the front of the head. Also, we're going to go over to the locations, set everything to 0 on the X, Y, and Z axis because our origin points to the center. We're just going to grab everything again and then press G and then hold Control to snap back to the head. As you can see, this is the reason I did this is because we will mirror this, and we want to keep it to make it make sure it doesn't change the transform or the size or the object. So I don't know why my little circle curve was in the head, but that's okay. I'll just pull it out. So now we're just going to add the mirror modifier, and as you can see, we want it on the x-axis, but it's going above. Not to worry. So we're just going to need to rotate the piece of hair. Now, normally we would reset all transforms, but what this would do is reset the shape of the object we've already created. But that's not to worry. We will just select the piece of hair strand we just made, rotate it. It may look a little flat, but that's okay. What we can do is we can press Alt S to scale that out, so we can actually fix that, and then again manipulate, just modify that to make it look back to the way it was. So it's a bit of trial and error. There's a lot of different ways. There's different ways you can do this. As I was just doing this quite quickly to fit this all into the video, it's a lot to explain, but I'm hoping you was able to understand and see how it is done. So I'm trying my best here to make sure everyone can learn. So holding only Alt S is the only way to scale on the axes, on the vertices, sorry, because just scaling on S doesn't work. Also, if you wanted to twist it, you can press Control T, and you can then twist certain pieces of the hair if you need to. So I'm just going to speed it up and place this into the center of the head for now, and then just push this in a little bit, and then press Alt S at the bottom to make a point on the bottom of the hair. Okay, we're going to dive straight in. I'm going to just hide the little curve circle for now. I'm just going to bring the hair back, top head and the back hair. I'm going to leave that there for now. Okay, next we're going to learn how to make the braided hair. So first things first, press Shift A, go to Mesh, bring in a single vert, just like so. And then we want to do it the same again, Shift A, go down to Curve, and then bring in a circle. We're going to move this along the x-axis and then scale that down. Going back to the single vert, we're going to go into Edit Mode, and we're going to press E to extrude to 0.2 along the x-axis. And we're going to do this for about 4 times. You can either do this, or you could extrude it to 0.1 and then subdivide it using the little panel in the bottom left hand corner a few times, so you have 5 vertexes in total. This is so we can then use this more accurately for the hair braid when we use arrays and modify this curve. So after we have got our vertexes in a row here, got all 5 of them, we are then going to move the second to last and the second one at the beginning along the y-axis to exactly 0.2 again. This will just create a zigzag, because this is how we are going to design the curvature of the braided hair. So we're going to move this one up 0.2, and then we're going to select the other vertex and bring that down to minus 0.2 on the y-axis. When that's done, select all of them and then right click and subdivide. Then select these 2 vertexes and then select these other 2 vertexes, and then go to orthographic front view. So you can press the tilde key and then click front and then have a look at the front, and then what we're going to do is we're going to move it up to 0.1. I accidentally went up to 0.2, it didn't look right, so I brought that down to 0.1. which seems to have worked in this case. So I'm just going to press Ctrl Z and bring that up to 0.1 on the Z axis. After you've done this, we're going to go over to Object Mode, and then we're going to go over to the modifier and add a array modifier. We're going to increase the count just to like 1, so there's 2 of them there in total. Then I'm just going to select the circle curve and move that out of the way. Select the curve again, then go to Edit Mode, select them all, press M, and then just merge by distance. This will then just merge the 2 vertices at the beginning. Then go back to Object Mode, and then go to Subdivision Surface Modifier and apply 3 by 3, and then apply and confirm the subdivision surface. This will make it nice and rounded, and this will make it really nice for the hair. Then right click and go to convert to mesh, go to the curve properties, click the object button, then click the pipette, and then click on the circle curve. This will then form the depth and the length of your chosen hairpiece, and then we'll select back onto the Bezier, apply the array modifier and count that to 3, and then push it in together using the X modifier on the array modifying tool, and then voila, we have our braided curve with the 3 modifiers, and we just need to put them into place. Sometimes you might need to use the Y or the Z axes just to fine tune it, but if you've done the measurements correctly at 0.2 and you following along, it should look similar to this. We're going to go over a bit more detail, add a bit more information, a bit more depth and detail into the hair in the next lesson. Hope you found this helpful, and I'll catch you in the next lesson.